Well, I decided to make a video to show people how I make my pizza. I'm on the road a lot. I'm here in my RV, as you can tell, and I was looking for a way to finally get a good pie, because not everywhere in the country you can find a good pizza even to buy. So I came up with a little recipe. It's quite easy. It cost me about $6-7 to make a pizza, and not just my opinion. Everybody that's eaten it, that I've invited over, has told me 4 or 5 separate people said, "Steve, this is the best pizza I've ever had in my life, better than a restaurant." So I thought I'd go ahead and make a video and share. Got some ingredients. I sliced up some tomatoes. I like pepperoni, so I put pepperoni. I've got some Parmesan cheese as well as some mozzarella and provolone mix. You can just use mozzarella. Baby wanted some mushrooms, so we cut up some mushrooms, pepperoni. Now, I have been told by many people this is by far the best pizza they've ever eaten. And I'm going to piss off a lot of restaurants right now, because let me show you the key ingredient. Chef Boyardee box pizza mix. This box makes 2 pizzas. I'm going to split the portions in half and just make one. It costs about $4, a little less actually, for a 2 pizza kit. The crust is as good as any crust, and the sauce is better than most. Of course, I doctor it up with the additional ingredients, but we're going to go ahead and show you how this is done. Just follow the directions on the box. I made a pizza the other night for some people, so I have half of the box, which is 1 pizza. You'll get a little bag of mix. There will be 2 of these in that dual pizza box. Do not get the pepperoni pizza, it sucks. The regular cheese pizza is really good. Somehow they put the little pepperonis in the sauce and it ruins the sauce, and the sauce is what makes it. Anyway, you get 2 of these bags. You get a little packet of Romano cheese. I, of course, saved half of it. So all I'm going to do, I preheated some water. You need some warm water. It's 1.5 cups for 2 pizzas, for 2 pies. It calls for 2/3 of a cup of very warm water for 1 pie. So I went ahead, just in the interest of time, and went ahead and started that. Guys, this is not rocket science, and it's super easy, and it's fast, and it's really, really, really good. As we all know, frozen pizzas, and there's no such thing as a good frozen pizza. They all suck. Most places you go, pizza parlors, they're using white cheese, cheapest ingredients. They suck. So anyway, I discovered good old Chef Boyardee. I just pour the warm water in there. I'm going to mix this up. I already preheated my oven to 375. So after I mix this up, this is the hardest part, by the way. Just getting all the powder mixed into the dough. It's not a big deal. Looks harder than it is, but it is the worst part of the whole process. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do my best at getting my fingers dirty and mixing up this dough. You can adjust the consistency. If you want your dough a little thinner, add a little bit more water. This is looking pretty good. I may add just a splash of hot water. Just a little bit. Little bit goes a long way. That might have even been too much, but we'll see. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to head and mix this up. Just as the box tells you. It says so right on the instructions. Nothing fancy here. It's really not hard. It just doesn't look real pretty right now, but you'll see in a minute. This is going to be the best pie you've ever eaten, and that's just not my opinion. Good old grandma used to make this for me when I was a kid. It really didn't taste like pizza, but whatever it tasted like, it tasted good. I analogize it to like a good bowling alley pizza with the added ingredients, the nice mozzarella, slices of tomato. Now it's better than, I gotta tell you, better than 99% of the restaurants I've eaten at. And again, I've had, pretty much everyone that's had it has told me the same thing. It is the best pizza they've ever eaten in their life. So, anyway, it tells you to drizzle a teaspoon of olive oil on top of it. Of course, I didn't measure. I don't think it's that crucial. And you can adjust the added ingredients to your taste, of course. But what I find with pizza is that more is not always better. If you put too many things on it, it doesn't cook right. So pick your 3 favorites, my suggestion. Add enough cheese, but don't go crazy because again, it won't cook right. Alrighty, now that I've go ahead and mix this up, my oven's preheating. There's a little bit of a heat vent here, so it tells you to cover it and let it set for 20 minutes so the dough will rise. And I'll get back to you once we're ready to make the pie. Okay, the buzzer went off. As you can see, the dough rose quite nicely. And no, I'm not going to toss it up in the air. Redneck pizza. So basically what I'm going to do, helps if you wet your hands a little bit or put some olive oil on, by the way, for this process, but I'm going to just go ahead and carefully spread this out. Again, so far we're just following the Chef Boyardee pizza box pizza recipe and instructions. This dough is as good as any pizza dough. I don't think it's anything particularly special. The sauce is, however. I'm going to get to that in just a second. But I'm just spreading it out. I pre-greased this non-stick baking pan with a little bit of olive oil. I just drizzled some olive oil on there. Sure, I'll probably use that on my hands instead of water, but it's neither here nor there. So we're going to go ahead and spread this dough out nice as evenly as possible. Of course, you can make it thicker crust or thinner crust. I like it a little bit thinner and crispier, but that's just me. Just about there. I am going to do a little bit of olive oil. The water's just not getting it. Ah, that's better. I know many of you are saying, you've got to be kidding me, Chef Boyardee box pizza. I got to tell you, just try it. Fast, easy, inexpensive, and very, very good. Both people and dogs love this. You can see how excited Sadie is over it. We just found her about 3 weeks ago, wandering around, and as you can see, she has a very hard life now. But I'm sure when the pizza's done, she will wake up. She's not too into cooking, but the eating part, she's got down to a science. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Get a little more olive oil in my hands so I don't struggle. There we go. Just about there. And that looks pretty good to me. Even it out a little bit. There you go. There's your pizza crust, your dough. Now, here's where things get interesting. This is the can that comes with the pizza 2-kit box, so you only need about half. Actually, in my opinion, you need a little bit more than half. So I saved some from the last pizza I made. Let me start out with that. Now, this sauce is outstanding. It's tangy, it's got flavor, it's not sweet like some sauces, hey, if you like sweet sauce, then this isn't for you. This is more of a marinara style. If you can find those cans by themselves, they do sell them. They're hard to find in the grocery store, but when they do, I usually load up. I've tried Ragu, Prego, all the other pizza sauces. Do not compare. Again, that's my opinion. I like a tangy sauce. Now, as you see, here's also my opinion. I've eaten pizza all over the United States. As you can tell by my belly, no rice cakes in this kid's future, or granola bars. So, one thing that I've noticed is nobody puts enough sauce on. My God, I don't care what kind of cheese, usually it's cheap cheese that they're using, or dough. You're eating cheese bread. So don't be afraid to put a decent amount of sauce on there, because I really do think that's what differentiates this from other pizzas. You order a pizza from someplace and basically it's cheese bread. It's crazy. I don't know who started that, but it's a bad idea. Sauce don't cost that damn much. So, okay, now that looks pretty good for the basic pie. Now, again, this is still part of the original Chef Boyardee recipe. This is it. This is what Grandma used to serve. This is the cheese that comes with it. It's a Romano cheese. I looked on the ingredients because I'm going to get some more of it. But for now, I'm going to use, for one pie, half the packet. Nothing fancy. Spread it out as good as you can. Now, for my opinion, I've seen pizzas made different ways. Do not put your pepperoni on top of the cheese. Put it underneath. Cooks better. Adds more flavor to the pizza, in my view. Again, just my opinion. So, I went ahead and bought some pepperoni. It doesn't really matter what brand, whichever one you like the best. I like pepperoni, so I'm going to layer this on here plenty thick. But not too thick for the reasons I stated earlier. Oh, look at that. I picked just about enough. And there we go. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and now add my cheese. I'm using mozzarella and provolone mixed. I've used just mozzarella. I don't know that it makes much of a difference. I want to add enough to make it decent, but not too much. Starting to look like a pizza now. Okay, so that'll get me going there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add, I cut those a little bit thick, by the way. I like them a little thinner, but that's okay. You know, some tomato on a pizza really does add, again, moisture. Gets you away from the whole cheese bread experience. I like it. If you don't like it, don't put it on there. Real simple. That's about 3 small, fine ripened tomatoes. That's that. Now, since baby wanted, my camera person wanted mushrooms, we're going to go ahead and throw some shrooms on here. Again, I'm not going to go crazy with it because too much of a good thing can be not a good thing. Okay, that's looking pretty good there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some grated Parmesan over top. A little bit of another flavor profile. Let that go ahead and cook in. That's good there. I'm going to go ahead and, yes, put a little more just to kind of bind it together of the mozzarella. And then I'm going to do something that may surprise many of you. I saw this done at a pizza shop that made great pizza in Ocean City, Maryland. And this is what they did. They put some sauce on top. A little bit different than most places. Again, no cheese bread here. Quite frankly, the sauce is what ties it together and what makes it really, really taste good, especially the Chef Boyardee sauce. They really nailed it. That's plenty. You don't have to go crazy with it. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I like oregano. Put a little bit of that on there now so it cooks in. Not too much. Oregano's salty, don't forget. And some crushed red peppers. If you don't like crushed red peppers, don't put them on. And I'm going to clean her up. I'm going to pop her in the oven for, as the instructions indicate, for 20 minutes. Checking it often. In a preheated oven at 375. So there's your pie right there. A little heavy. Alrighty. Now that whole pie probably cost, I would guess, let's see, $3.50 for the pizza kit. The tomatoes, the pepperoni, probably another $3 in it. I probably don't have $7 in the pizza, and it's really is quite extraordinary. All right, I'll get back to you in a little bit once the pizza's done. I'll let you have a look at it. Okay.